Howdy folks, Nathan ADLEN here with the Fast Lane Car, and behind me the 2015 Volkswagen Passat 1.8 liter turbo SEL. I am very interested in this car, and I'll tell you why. Because I recently drove a Jetta that had the same engine, and it was fantastic. So I was really curious how the bigger Passat would handle it. And that information is just for you coming up next. Ach, du Lieber, du bist wunderschön. Not really. I just basically said it looks good. I think it looks nice, very conservative. This is much more buttoned down and serious, but there are some very nice crisp lines here that kind of look like they're from an Audi. For those of you who are wondering, and you shouldn't wonder, this Passat, the way it's built, is built really for one reason: to compete against vehicles like the Toyota Camry. The bottom line is that I want a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more zing, and I think a lot of you do too, but it's not ugly, and these wheels look primo. What you get in the Volkswagen is something very precious, and that is a massive back seat. It's huge, and a really big trunk. Really, really big trunk. The back seats are very comfortable. There are a couple of really cool things back here, one of which is 60/40 split rear folding seats. You all know about that, but you also get a center pass-through right here at the center armrest. So you can pop skis through here, no problem. You don't have to put down all the seats. One final thing. That way, that trunk is 15.9 cubic feet. That is pretty much best in class, or one of the best in class. It is freezing out here. I've been trying to actually warm my hands on the engine, and it's so cold that it no longer warms my hands. It's pretty bad. One of the reasons why it's no longer holding heat is because it's actually a pretty small power plant overall. This is a 1.8 liter direct injected turbocharged engine. It's a 4-cylinder that puts out 170 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque under 1500 RPM, which is huge. Lots of torque. You know, another thing I really do like about this car is it's pretty quiet, but I can still hear the engine. I like doing that. Even if the engine note isn't that great, I like to hear the engine rev, because on this surface, as an example, on ice, when you hear the revs kick in and you're going slow, you know something's wrong. And there are an awful lot of cars out there that you really don't hear what's going on. But there is one thing for sure. This is the top-of-the-line SEL version of the Passat. So this is fully loaded. It's got everything you can possibly want. And frankly, the interior looks like it comes out of the 90s. So let's see how the traction control works, shall we? Middle of a parking lot. Oh! It doesn't. It's very unhappy right now, and it's telling me that I'm spinning partially out of control, and I am. I'm not touching anything. Oh, there we go. That's better. It actually worked pretty good to bring me back straight. You could feel the brakes on the right side kicking and then the left. It's not bad. It's just that some of the buttons are dated. Some of the knobs just don't feel high quality. The steering wheel is nice. Good padding, good feel. Really good feel. But there's so much of this that just looks really, really old and out of place. It kind of feels like, well, it reminds me of a Buick actually built in, say, 1998. I like the power. You really do feel the surge of torque kind of grab and pull the car forward at very, very low RPM, and that's huge. Driving position is quite good, and overall comfort is excellent. So yes, I'm being a little namby-pamby about some of the things I'm talking about in terms of minor details, but some of you guys care about that. one more thing. Little things like this, glove compartment, little doors like that, they just don't feel like they're really solid. It's just a minor issue I have. But I will say this, Volkswagen is one of the few companies that builds cars in the United States that has a locking glove compartment. I have this sticker here, $32,610. Just so you know, 28 miles per gallon combined. And that's impressive for such a big car, because I love the engine. It's fantastic, it's frugal, it's powerful, it's got great torque. It's almost like a V6 in terms of torque. There's just so much to love under the hood. Here, tell you what, save yourself the trouble and go buy the Volkswagen CC. It's more stylish, it looks better on the inside, and makes you look like a European stud instead of kind of Roman. I do have to mention one thing though. This has the Fender stereo system in it, and it is fantastic. I know one of the things TFL doesn't do, we don't rate stereo systems. We just basically tell you if they sound good or not, and that's because between Roman and Barry Manilow, what he listens to, and then me with, you know, rock and roll, punk rock, whatever it is, we both have different taste, and when we both agree that there's a kick-ass stereo system in a vehicle, we try to mention it. So that's exactly where we are with this. Roman and I both agree this Fender stereo system is excellent. On the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, I'm going to give this a rent it with the proviso that if you buy the 5-speed manual base version of this car, it might be worth a lease it, because I have a feeling it's a lot of fun to drive. For the Fast Lane Car, this is Nathan ADLEN. Don't forget to go to tflcar.com for news, views, and real-world reviews. Auf Wiedersehen.